Palmistry reading of a male. I do not know his age. We would be reading his hand. Every palmist has got a different kind of a pattern of palm reading. My pattern could be different from the others. My basically the way I give the reading is I normally try to look at these particular points that you see on the palm. Generally, every person wants to know about success in their life, and success can be seen on almost any portion of your palm. People have just got a misconception. People think that money line, this is the money line or the line of sun. These are the lines, or this is also known as the line of luck. People generally think that, who do not know palmistry, that only these lines matter, but in fact each and every line matters, and each and every planet, it represents certain qualities. Like these particular qualities is represented by the mount of Venus. So this is how I would be giving the palm reading. So step by step I would analyze each and every portion of the palm. The first portion of the palm is basically the hand structure. By hand structure, I mean the bone structure in the fingers, as well as the palm. Both basically are important aspects of the palm reading. The bone structure is important because it provides the strength, and the padding over the area of any particular area, or padding even on the fingers, it kind of strengthens the mount. Strengthening the mount basically means that it would strengthen the planet, and each planet has certain qualities, and those planets are going to be showing up in a prominent way in that particular person's life. Now, when we talk about a strong structured hand, it means when you're shaking the hand, when you're shaking the hand of this particular person, probably his hand is likely to overpower other people. So this is the likelihood. This is what I guess it is. I can't physically basically shake his hand. That is the reason why I can't arrive at this conclusion perfectly. But through my experience, I found that such kind of structured hand are categorized as strong structured hand. If the hand structure is weak, imagine if the hand structure is weak, this is not a weak structured hand. It would show weaknesses in every aspect of one's life. A weak structured hand is very, very thin kind of fingers and very feeble kind of a hand that is barely opening up. So those, and that is and a very weak kind of a thumb. So that is considered to be negative. When the hand structure is strong, it brings in richness. Richness does not mean only in terms of the money terms. Richness can also be termed as richness in content. So if the person is rich in content, the chances of being able to make more money in their life increases manifold. So this is a strong structured hand. That is the reason why the possibility of the person being able to make more money increases. So this is, I try to correlate the hand structure to something like a building. When we are making a building, we are basically digging out earth and laying down the foundation, the iron girders and the cementing, even in the pillars and in the beam. So that basically matter a lot. If you have got a strong structured building, it is going to withstand all the troubles that are likely to come during the lifetime of the building. So imagine a situation that something like if there's earthquake or flooding or tornadoes. So if the building has got a weak foundation, it is likely to fall down. But if the building has got a strong foundation, strong pillars, strong beams, the building would withstand all the problems that it would face in its life. So same things basically we apply on the hand as well. When the hand is a strong structured hand, the person is able to withstand all the problems that come in their life. So in that way, it is a positive sign. Now the other aspect of the palm reading is that lines do play a part, but at the same time the structure of the hand is of prime importance, very high prime importance it is. So a person may have a very feeble kind of a hand, very weak kind of a hand. But if they do not have a strong structured hand, the chances are those good lines also, or good signs on the palm also, are not going to show up in their life. But if the hand structure is strong and they're just okay kind of lines, even then it would show much more strength in their life. So I would categorize this hand to be a strong structured hand. At the same time, there are good lines as well. So positive things should always happen in this particular person's life. So this is the one way of looking at it. Now we basically move on to the lines. The two lines that are important is, one is the line of head and the other is the line of heart. Now, headline basically, people generally misconstrued. They basically don't. They think that the headline is the line of intelligence. No, headline is not the line of intelligence. Headline is the line of your thought process, the way you basically think. So if the headline is good and simple, like in this case we find that the headline is very simple. Simple headlines is always better than having a complicated kind of a headline. Simple headline basically means that the person would have a predictable kind of a nature. This is the first part. Being predictable is always better than being unpredictable. See, nobody would like, or nobody would want to associate with an unpredictable person. People think I want to be very unique, but people also love, when you associate with people, they would want to meet people who are quite similar to them. So they don't want totally different kind of a person. So predictability, this is the first part. The second part is, because the headline is very simple, straightforward, it means that the chances are that the person would not have any mental breakdown, and it would show mental stability all throughout one's life, past, present, and the future. So this is the earlier portion of the headline. This is the last portion of the headline. So it's a very normal kind of a line. Don't, when I say normal, do not think that it is something like it is of low grade. Normal doesn't mean good. Normal is, in my opinion, is a very good kind of a sign. And people generally want to get closer to people who are more predictable and easygoing. Easygoing doesn't mean that they don't work hard. Easygoing is just means that they can associate with such kind of people in a very easy way. This is the headline. And when the headline is very simple, straightforward, and strong, it is a strong kind of a line. It need not be a long line. Don't think that a longer line is better than a shorter line. So this is all okay to have this kind of a, this is a medium kind of a line, medium length kind of a line. So that's all okay. I sometimes even say that it's better not to have a long headline. Too very long headline would make a person very headstrong, and the person would make very strong mental boundaries around themselves. So making strong mental boundaries is also, sometimes it can go negative for you as well. So this kind of a line is, in my opinion, a perfect kind of a headline. And this does not mean, when the person does have this kind of a good kind of a line, it doesn't mean that the person would not face any problems in their life. I would say it is quite possible the person may have problems in their life, but at the same time, those problems would never ever be able to break this person completely. Never ever. And the person is able to make a big problem appear to be a small kind of a problem because of these people mental outlook. So your mental outlook basically matters a lot. This is one part. The second part is the heart line. This is the heart line. Heart line is the line of emotions. Heart line is the line of sensitivity. Heart line can also talk about many other things in your life. I try to associate your career also, your career prospects also, on your heart line. So heart line It's not a very long kind of a heart line. Some people, they may have a long heart line. Heart line very long would make a person very idealistic, very sensitive, but such a person is not an idealistic kind of a person. The person is kind of a very realistic kind of a person. Saturn mount is the planet for being more realistic, more grounded, knowing the ground situations very well. They are very good money managers. They love to invest money. They want more money. They respect money. They honor money, and they pray for money. So those are the positive aspects. A good businessman or a person even in service, they need to basically aspire for money. If they don't aspire for money, they won't get it. So the hard line ending on the Mount of Saturn basically signify these people value money a lot, and that is the reason why it is very likelihood that they would be able to make more money in their life, because their heart is targeting towards Saturn, and Saturn is money, so they aspire for money, they desire money in their life. And such people, because they desire money, they would also look for opportunities to multiply their money, because Saturn is also conserving money, and Saturn is also for basically multiplying money, and hoarding of money is also signified by Saturn. So in that way, this is a very good sign to have. Heartline also is very simple kind. It does have few, one or two, three branches. Branches over the heartline could distract a person. The person may fall for temptation, may get distracted, but because these lines are compared to these branches over the line of heart are comparatively weaker line. This is the heartline, these are the branches. So these are comparatively weaker branches. So weaker branches have got less negativity in them. So that is the reason why it would not play out in such a bad way in this particular person's life. Imagine a situation: fingertips is your head and the sky, and this is the lower portion of the body, the earth and the gravity, and this is your physical heart. And if there are branches hanging downwards, so it is something like branches are hanging downwards means basically on your heart, physical heart, there are few branches that are hanging downwards, ropes hanging downwards. It would kind of give stress and anxiety. But at the same time, because the quality of the heart line and simplicity of the heart line is good, that is the reason why even these lines would have very little impact on this particular person's life. So I don't find anything as a big negative that I would basically like to point out. I'll just take a look at the other hand images that the person has sent me so that I can arrive at the conclusion. Yes, there are a few branches that we were talking about. These are the branches, these are distractions. This is these are distractions. So this is in a little way, minor way negative. If the heart line was longer with branches, then it would have been much worse. But because the heart line is short and because the person is very realistic and grounded, so that's the reason why these branches have got little impact on such a person, because there's a combination of the head and the heart line. They are not very long lines. Both of these lines are not very long, not too very short. So a very balanced kind of a personality. For him, he must be a very balanced kind of a person, and very predictable kind of a person, even in emotions and even in the thought process. Both ways, I would rate it perfect. Just let me take a look at the left hand as well. In the left hand, you'd find in the left hand, it does appear, I'm not very certain, but it does appear that probably there's a break on the heartline. Break on the heartline sometimes could mean an abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership or the work that you are doing. So in that way, it could be a little bit negative, but not to such a great extent. Now, in both the hands, it is generally said that for males, we should look more of the right hand, and for females, it is the left hand. But I have arrived to a conclusion that for male and female both, I give more importance to the right hand, and left hand I do not ignore. So that is the reason why I am taking a look at the left hand as well, because there are lots of similarities in our left and the right hand. So that is the reason why I look at both the hands to arrive at the conclusion. Now, what is very rare in this particular hand, left hand as well as the right hand, is that there is a strong, simple, perpendicular line under the finger of Mercury. This is the Mercury finger and this is the Mercury mount. Mercury mount is basically the Mercury planet. Mercury is a small planet, so every person, they have got a very, very short finger compared to the other fingers. So a short planet has got a short finger. Now the thing is that to have a perpendicular line is considered to be good, and it should be deep and clear. Only deep and clear perpendicular lines are good. If a person does have a very weak and feeble kind of these kind of lines, it would be of no use. So always a strong line is good under the finger of Mercury. If you do have a strong line of Mercury, the chances are you would be very good at calculations and communication. Mercury is the planet for many things, not one thing, but many things. Mercury is for medical science, Mercury is for engineering, mathematics, calculations, communication, statistics, economics, business, law. It can be human to human networking, computer networking, social media networking, computer coding. It can be anything, anything and everything. Even imagine a situation if somebody is a carpenter. We look at carpenters as to be a menial kind of a job. No, I would not say that. A good carpenter would have very good set of skills. So that particular carpenter would have a strong, simple, straightforward line under the mount of Mercury. So Mercury, we can't say what profession you are going to be, but we can certainly say with 100% accuracy that if you do have this kind of a line, the chances are you are sharpening your skills on a daily basis. On a daily basis, right from childhood till this particular age in your life. And the likelihood is that you would be very good at consulting people. You would be very good at giving suggestions, and anything to do with maths, physics, chemistry, biology. It can also be share market or any other thing in your life as well. Now, apart from having this particular line, you also do have got this longer lines as well. Now, these longer lines are also considered to be good. I would say they are the same as what I've just spoken about. Mercury lines, if they are long or short, whatever, all of them are basically considered to be good. Some people, they may not have these two lines, and yet I would say that it is considered to be a good sign just to have a line of Mercury on the mount of Mercury. Now, I would just tell you the reverse, because then you would basically understand why I am saying a perpendicular line is a good sign. A person may have crisscrossing lines out here. Now, crisscrossing lines is considered to be negative because the person would overwork their mind. It would get muddled up. The person would get confused, and the person would not be able to frame good words. The person wouldn't be able to calculate in the perfect way. There would be miscalculation and miscommunication if the person has got this kind of a formation under the mount of Mercury. And this kind of a formation on any portion of the palm is considered to be a negative sign, and the person is likely to get negative qualities of that particular planet in their life. So a perpendicular line, the reason why perpendicular line is good is because energy is penetrating the fingers. Energy, light or current or whatever you may say, that it is entering the fingers. It enters the palm, it enters your life. Okay. Now the thing is, imagine a situation that this line is something like a knife. So energy or light or whatever is passing by this particular knife, and it is kind of sharpening this particular knife. So a person who sharpens their skills are the ones who are likely to be more successful in their life. So in that way, I consider this kind of a formation to be a perfect indication. If there was a horizontal line, that would have been negative. Those energies that may have penetrated, it would get deflected. So deflection of energies towards the finger is bad. It's always better to have perpendicular lines. That is the reason why it is a good sign. If you take a look at the hand of, let's say, Warren Buffett or other people, they would certainly have a perpendicular line. Warren Buffett has got two or three perpendicular lines under the Mount of Mercury. So I wouldn't say that every person would become a Warren Buffett if people they have two or three, four lines out here. No, it's not like that. One line is good enough for success. Even if you have got multiple lines, even then I would say it is success, provided they are strong, simple, straightforward kind of these kind of lines. Now I come to the other line, that is the sun line. This is very good. Some people, they do have a long kind of a line, but I do long line would something like mean 27 age, 35, 44, 53, and this is 53 and beyond. So what I find is that I just find the sun line to be good above the heart line, and this particular portion is after the age of 53. So this does not mean that the person is only going to be successful after the age of 33, although the book would say that after the age of 53 things would look up for this particular person. But in my opinion, we have to look at each and every portion of the palm to arrive at the conclusion. Because the hand quality is very good, I would say that the success would have come to this particular person right from an early age. And specifically because the person also has got a money triangle like a formation. This is kind of a money triangle, a big money triangle like a formation. Now when I say money triangle, the person is going to think, oh, I would get lots of wealth, and it's something like I would become super rich, and I would get some hidden kind of a wealth. No, it is not like that. There has to be some reason to why a money triangle is considered to be good. Money triangle is considered to be good because it is made up of three lines. Money line, this is money line. This is the headline, your thought process line. And this is the line of Mercury. Mercury is your line of skill and calculations. So these lines are very simple, straightforward, and strong lines. So that is a reason why I would say money line strong means stability in money. So this is the early age. This is from the age of, let's say, 26 or 27 till the age of 35. It's good, and even beyond it is good. But I'm just pointing the triangle portion. This portion of the headline is very simple, straightforward. So a simple, straightforward thought process, a strong mind, a stable thought process, stable mind would also attract more money. A strong Mercury line means strong set of skills. So a combination of these three lines provide a person more opportunities to make money, and the person would be able to make money in their life. Apart from this, you would also notice that these lines are kind of forming something like a V. Now V, whenever I say V, you would think V means victory. No, we are not looking at English letter words on your palm. I consider V pointing towards a finger to be good. The reason being, energy penetrates the fingers, enters the palm, enters your life, and basically they get accumulated out here wherever there's a V-like formation. So this point becomes significant in your life, and this point is approximately 27, 28. That's when things become very good, and they would remain good all throughout your life. But if you look closely, there's a line somewhere before the age of 35. This point is age 35 on the head and the money line. There's a small line that is leaning a little bit inwards, pointing towards the area for Mars negative. Mars negative is the area for anger, aggression, and fire. So money line moving, a branch moving towards the money line is considered to be a little bit negative. And this particular point is approximately going to be around the age of, if this is 35, so this point is approximately going to be 32 or so, when money could have got burned to some extent. So in a small way, it is a little bit negative to have a branch move towards the area for Mars. This is age 35, this is age 53 on the money line. This is the money line that we are talking about. And somewhere at this particular point, so somewhere in the middle is going to be 44. So there's a V kind of a formation, again a V kind of a formation. Around, I would say that this age is approximately 47 or so. When there's a V formation, again it's considered to be very good. So positive things could have happened at that particular age also. The area for Mars is good. Mars is the planet for fire. So some people, they do have got many crisscrossing lines out here. That is basically considered to be bad, because then basically what's going to happen is that the fire of that particular person is going to be untargeted, and the person may get angry over wrong issues. But because we don't find any negative signs out here, the person's fire is always going to be very positive. The person may get very angry, but that does not mean that the person's fire is misguided. So because having a good amount of Mars, the fire of that particular, the spark within that person is going to remain throughout their life. The Venus mount is prominent. Prominent Venus mount basically signifies high energy levels, stamina and vitality, and our desires within that particular person. So in that way it is perfect. These particular planets are also good because they are very less lines over it. So lesser lines is always good. That means that there are no blockages. Only one particular negative sign that I find out here is on the lifeline. This is the lifeline, and it appears that you do have a branch that is moving outward and moving downwards towards the area for Mount of Moon. This is Mount of Moon. Moon is a very changeable planet. It brings in lots of changeability, and a branch moving towards the Mount of Moon could signify a few problems. And there could be multiple meanings to it. I would just describe all the meanings. And the age at which it basically happens is around the age of, let's say, approximately, I would say 45, 50. That's the approximate, I would say. One more thing I need to tell out here. This is your money line. Now, there's a branch that is moving outward. This is negative. Now, there could be a branch something like moving this way also. But I think the branch is not moving in this particular way from the line of fate or the money line. It is something from the lifeline. It is moving outward. So moving outward from the lifeline means it is something like, lifeline is something like a river, and this is a tributary that is moving out. So health loss and wealth loss can be expected to some extent, but sometimes it is not the case that there's wealth loss or health loss. This line could also mean a desire for travel, because moon basically, moon is a planet. Moon affects, the effect of moon can be seen on the earth, and that is in ocean we can see it, and ocean connects the continents. So branch from the lifeline moving towards the Mount of Moon basically could mean a desire to travel to foreign countries a lot, because but at the same time every person does not travel abroad, with even in spite of having this particular line. If they have money, they could travel. Some people, they don't. It could also mean some health loss, and that is below the stomach, anything to do with the water part in the body. So this is where the person should take care. But all said and done, because the quality of the hand is good, so the chances are that even these negative lines would not have much impact, because the quality of the lifeline remains intact and strong. A strong lifeline means strong, robust health can be expected for this particular person. Now, I would just go back to the right hand again before I end the video. You would also see there are similarities in the hand, so it doesn't matter if we are reading left or the right hand. I would just show some dissimilarity. The same similarity is out here. This is the money triangle that we are talking about. This is same. In the left hand there were two lines, but in this case there's only one Mercury line. So if there are two lines, it means two independent set of skills can be expected. Two strong independent set of skills can be expected. In this case, the sun line is starting somewhere at this particular age, and it stops at the headline. So it starts somewhere out here, so the age of 33, it ends at the age of 35. Again, it restarts at the age of 35. It is quite a weak kind of a line. Let me just zoom in so that I can see it much more clearly. So these are comparatively weaker kind of lines. These lines are very, very weak. 32 to 35, 35 to all this portion is a weak line. Then it becomes a little bit strong at the age of 55 or so. And basically it is something like this. So see, now we have to understand what basically the sun line is. Some people say, some palmists may say this is the name and fame line. Some people may say that this is your luck line. I normally say the sun line is the line for how much clarity that we have. This is sun and this is the earth. And if there are lots of smoke and clouds out here, the sunlight is not would not penetrate the clouds and the smoke and reach the earth. So the plants, the trees, if they don't receive sunlight, they are going to die down. So a sunlight that is dim and unclear, it signifies lack of clarity. It means doubt and self-doubt. It means it is a little bit kind of a negative kind of a formation to have. But at the same time, because your whole hand has got many positive aspects, so even if the person does not have a strong line, even then I would rate it, I would rate the whole hand to be a very, 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 very good hand. So it doesn't matter even if the sunline is weak. Some people, in spite of having a weak sunline, they have huge success in spite of, although I would always say it is always better to have a simple, straightforward line of sun, simple, deep and clear. So the deeper the line, the more the clarity. See, normally people, the why people are not successful, because they are lacking in clarity. Sometimes they get guidance, and if they get guidance, the chances of their success increases. So the person's skills are very good. This is the perfect time. So even one or two lines good in their hand, even the heart line ending on the Mount of Saturn, could also bring lots of money in their life. So in all, I would say good hand. The last portion of the hand reading is that the length of the fingers. The length of the fingers, the first finger is a little bit shorter compared to the third one. So if the third one is longer, I would say it's a positive sign, because I wouldn't say it's a positive or negative. But see, even the first finger, if it is long, even that is positive. Even if it is short, it can be seen as a positive sign. So I'm just giving you the analysis of the personality. If the third finger is longer compared to the first finger, I would say that the person is very creative, very a good understanding of colors and socializing, and those people are very high risk takers. So the person could be risk taking. First finger, when it is short, comparatively shorter, it is appearing to be shorter, it could mean that the person might be submitting to the others people's wishes too often. If it was longer, I would say that the person would have that bossism in them. So the person is not bossy, but the person is submitting to the others people's wishes too often. Now the finger of Mercury appears to be long. I think it is crossing the top line of the ring finger. This is the ring finger, and the length of the Mercury finger is crossing. It is reaching somewhere out here. I could be wrong. When we talk, you can tell me that no, it is not this long, or it could be this short or this short. You can tell me. So even if the Mercury finger reaches the top line of the ring finger, we say it is a long finger. I would say that this is a long Mercury finger if it is reaches out here. If it reaches till here, then Mercury finger is certainly very long. And a long Mercury finger is always a good indication to have. Mercury is something like a communication. It is for communication. So a long Mercury finger means that the person is able to network in a very good way. And one is one is basically networking with unknown people, and the other is networking with the known people. So the person has that capacity to network with both kind of people, with family, friends, as well as business people, and all the people in their life. So I would end my video out here. The thumb is not a very, very long kind of a thumb. I won't say that you need to have a long thumb. See, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump both have got this kind of a thumb, so that's okay to have. I wouldn't say that very long thumb means much more success. Reasonable length is all okay. That is perfect to have. And the desires in this particular person is going to remain, because a strong padded mount of Venus signifies strong desires, strong energies, strong vitality remains even in the last portion of their life. So thank you for watching this video. Bye and take care.